The young man who was famous for his transformation from a lanky teen with little meat on his bones into a stunning Adonis who made damn near every woman around him swoon to those remarkable washboard abs. More than just a bodybuilder, Zyzz was on the search for something beyond gains and personal records, as he transformed himself into an internet sensation looking to inspire other outcasts to stop being what he liked to refer to as a sad... Well, actually, I'm not sure if I can finish that sentence. I mean, maybe if I was from England or Australia, but unfortunately over here in North America, the C word is a big no-no.
Pussy over.
Anyway, now with the 11-year anniversary of his death having just passed, I thought it would be a good time to share his story with all of you and take a look at the legacy that he left behind. So if you want to go from jelly to Myron, then stick with us as we celebrate the life of Zyzz here on Gone But Not Forgotten. But before we dive into his story, please take a second to like, subscribe, and ring that bell to turn on your notifications. That'll ensure you never miss one of our new episodes. And without further ado, let's get right into it. Aziz Shavershian, the man that we'd all come to know as Zyzz, was born in Moscow, Russia on the 24th of March, 1989. At the age of around 4 years old, he moved to Australia with his family, including his older brother Saeed, settling into Eastwood, New South Wales, where he attended Marsus College Secondary School. As a teen, Zyzz was skinny all the way up until the end of high school, and he described himself as an extreme ectomorph, someone who could eat anything they wanted while not putting on any fat, muscle, or weight of any sort. He explained how this made him feel at the time during an interview with SimplyShredded.com, saying, "People always commented on how skinny I was, and I hated it. I was always known as the skinny kid. I remember feeling like a little bitch when I was out with girls, walking next to them and feeling the same size as them." Despite his undersized nature, Zyzz always had a fascination with bodybuilding, but lacked the motivation to start training. However, whenever he was out at a club, he would see a jacked dude walking by, and he took note of how they tended to have a greater presence than that of a normal person. Guys respected them, and women wanted them. I mean, what more can you ask for? Then, once he finished his final year of high school, Zyzz took note of how his older brother Saeed had become far healthier and a lot more shredded only after a year of dedication to weight training. At this point, Zyzz realized once and for all that it was time for a lifestyle change. So he joined a local gym and got down to the hard work of packing on muscles. To supplement this training, he also studied nutrition and applied everything he was absorbing in his pursuit of becoming a changed man and professional bodybuilder. He would often spend 3 to 4 hours a day training in the gym as he aspired to reach and then surpass the gains of his idols Arnold Schwarzenegger and Frank Zane. He did all of this while studying business at the University of Western Sydney and holding down a few random jobs as both a personal trainer and a male stripper at Sydney Hot Shots. Kind of feels like personal trainer and a male stripper kind of go hand in hand. I'm not saying that personal trainers are all like strippers or anything. I'm just saying it's tangible. You meet the criteria if you're a personal trainer. I'm just saying. And while there was practically no way for Zyzz to predict where his path would take him, he quickly came to realize that as he shared his story across the earliest forms of social media, that he was having a major influence on others. Zyzz first began sharing videos of himself with the greater world at large on YouTube in 2007, and in what it must have seemed weird at the time, but has practically become commonplace since. Before we knew it, Zyzz and his crew of buddies had become internet celebrities while still in their early 20s.
What's it like being the king?
Feels good, man. Feels good.
The more videos that he shared of himself working out, the more he and his crew were invited to parties all over the country, as well as appearances at nightclubs and other events. Soon enough, the concept of feeling good by looking good would become his brand and a rallying cry. Simply put, when Zyzz stepped onto the bodybuilding scene, it took on a whole new aesthetic. In the beginning of February 2010, Zyzz laid the groundwork for what would become his widely copied lexicon by frequenting 4chan's fitness and bodybuilding boards, where he posted links to his YouTube clips, along with pictures and captions that spread taunts like, "You Myron," and of course, "You Jelly." Now, for those of you that need a little bit of translation, that was Zyzz's way of asking people if they were either jealous or simply admiring the way he looked. His total disregard for jelly haters combined with his willingness to say damn near anything is what gave him his charisma and had people flocking to his content from all over the world. Take for instance this popular motivational speech he would give that unfortunately I have to cut damn near every other word out of. It's just a f***ing act. There's no Zyzz. Everyone has a little bit of Zyzz in them. You're a f***ing sick if you want to be, bruh. So stop being a f***ing sad, alright? Go out, get and just be a f***ing sick. Sentiments that would make Andrew Tate you know what? I don't even know if there would be an Andrew Tate if there wasn't a... It's another video for another time. Anyways. As that very blue statement insinuates, the person he portrayed himself to be online may have been different from who he really was, but that never stopped Zyzz from motivating others to embark on their quest for self-actualization. As his career blossomed, he even released a book titled Zyzz's Bodybuilding Bible in May of 2011, while establishing his own supplement line known as Protein of the Gods. And I mean, sure, there were haters that came out of the woodwork to accuse him of being a steroid junkie, but that was something Zyzz always adamantly denied, claiming instead that his extremely fit physique was entirely thanks to his hard work at the gym and a strict diet. Before the end of the summer in 2011, Zyzz amassed over 60,000 fans on Facebook and was well on his way to establishing himself as one of the world's first social media influencers. But then, in August of 2011, everything would change. A month prior, in July of 2011, Zyzz's brother, along with 4 others, were charged with possession of an anabolic steroid during a police raid. Despite not being involved with this investigation in any way, Zyzz's name was lumped into the headlines, and it was something that really upset him. He wrote in an email sent to an Australian news outlet, "The article portrays me in a negative light, using my photo for what was an article predominantly about anabolic steroids when I have never been charged, caught, or convicted with anything related to drug use." Anabolic steroid use is generally considered dangerous because it can enlarge the heart and increase the likelihood of heart failure, something that became horrifically ironic considering what would come to pass next. The same month that his brother was arrested on steroid charges, Zyzz flew to Thailand for a vacation. His last social media post would come only 2 days before his death, where he reminisced over how far he had come in his bodybuilding journey in the span of a year, and how he was closing in on the look of his idol, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Then, on August 5th, 2011, the 22-year-old trailblazer walked into a sauna in the city of Bangkok, settled into the humid heat, and never came back out. While in there, he suffered a heart attack, and despite being rushed to a nearby hospital, he was unable to be resuscitated.
Doctors say the 23-year-old had an undiagnosed heart condition, but some say a growing obsession with body image is dangerous.
While the media used his passing as an opportunity to warn about the excessive use of anabolic steroids, an autopsy would later reveal that Zyzz was suffering from an undiagnosed congenital heart defect, which triggered his cardiac arrest. In hindsight, his family would come to believe that Zyzz had actually showed several minor symptoms of this prior to his death, such as high blood pressure and occasional shortness of breath. But they didn't put the puzzle pieces together until it was already too late. As a coda for his life, on September 23, 2011, more than a month after his death, the first episode of the Australian reality series, The National Road Trip, would premiere on YouTube, with Zyzz as a cast member. And even though he's been gone for over 10 years now, Zyzz's legacy still lives on today more than ever. I mean, not only did he provide the blueprint for today's social media influencers, he revolutionized the sport of bodybuilding, which means, in a sense, despite his tragic untimely passing, Zyzz still managed to accomplish exactly what he set out to do. So, I'll leave you with these parting words of his. We're all going to make it, bro. That's it. That's what the revolution is. Rest easy, Aziz, knowing that very few people down here have forgotten you, and that to this day, we're still admiring everything you accomplished. Thank you everybody for watching. Please take a moment or two before you leave to like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications. My name is Clyde Smith, and I'll see you guys in another episode. RIP.